Welcome to Project Quiver, a father-daughter journey across the globe to capture the artistry and spirit of the world's finest traditional bow carvers. I'm Todd, the father. Ella is my daughter. Together we're on a mission to create a stunning coffee table book that profiles more than a dozen master bowyers and their unparalleled skill. For each chapter, we travel to the bowyer's workshop, carve a bow under his guidance, photograph his woodcraft in detail, and share his story here on the Salish Wolf podcast. The book is called Quiver, The Art of Life Through Bowcraft. And this journey, our living story, is Project Quiver. How are you doing, man? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's morning over there, I guess.
It is. Yep.
So good morning. Yeah.
It's a good morning. I was doing some working on a ash bow a little bit ago, and took a break to come and chat with you. So all is good.
Okay. Great. Yeah, it's afternoon over here, so I had a full day at the shop, and well, this is the end of the day for me.
Yeah.
And, well, good to speak to you.
You too. It's great to meet you. Are you carving all day? Is that your main profession?
Well, I'm going towards that. Yeah. At the moment, I also teach history class at the local high school over here,
Okay.
and that's something I really enjoy doing. And so I've been working on bows for many years, and as you can hear, I'm not an American. I'm a Dutch guy living in Europe, making all kinds of bows, teaching history to young students, and I do that part-time as well. So yeah, many things.
Do you teach your students about bows at all? The history with them?
Of course, I take my projects along with them. You know, if we're talking about the Middle Ages, I take a yew war bow with me. Or if we're talking about prehistoric ages, I take some arrowheads with me that I got from the US actually. So that makes it very yeah, I don't know how you call it in English, but you can feel the history in it.
Yeah.
You know, they can have something they can touch, feel, and see for themselves
Yeah.
how that object was. Yeah. So that's what
That
I
makes it
really enjoy.
that makes it far more engaging.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And what do
It's
your
a
students
lot.
generally think about the bows?
Um, well, I think some students are impressed or fascinated at how it works, and there are always some students who, you know, they're just waiting for the next class. So that's just life, you know. It's
Yeah.
that's no problem. But as long as there are a few interested and just take 10 minutes of their time to teach them something about it, and it always sticks
Yeah.
with somebody. So
Hmm.
years later, I would walk through the city, my hometown, and meet some old students. Say, hey, Mr. Tim, or hey, how are you doing? And I remember that one time you brought this and this. So that's what I really like about that. It's the same for everybody, I guess. You all remember one teacher who made a little joke or an impact on you or brought something special, or it doesn't have to be big, or just something that reminds you of that time. And
Yeah.
that's what I like. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is your hometown? Where you're in
Arnhem.
Arnhem. Okay.
Arnhem. Yeah. Yeah.
And how
It's
big
a
is
famous, sorry?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a famous city, mainly because of the Second World War. There's a Battle of Arnhem, Operation Market Garden. Some people might have heard of that, and
Okay.
yeah, that's one part of that. Yeah.
How big is the city?
Oh, not that big. I think about 100,000 people or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but something like that.
Yeah.
And where are you located?
Right now I'm on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a farm here, and we moved to Costa Rica. Well, we spend most of our time in Costa Rica, but prior to that, we lived here full time. but I have 3 of our Bowyers that we're meeting with starting the end of this week or this coming week are all based in this area. So I
Yeah,
came back
yeah, I
to,
thought so. About some specific U-bows over
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I think with all 3 of them, I think I'll be carving Pacific U.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard there's plenty of U around that area, right?
there is a lot. Yeah. It's, well, I don't see it quite that much right in my general area, but you definitely can find it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice place for that. Most of the first, I don't know, probably the first few dozen bows I carved were out of yew, and then I started to branch out and try different types of woods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you started making bows as well, or?
Yeah, I've been doing it for very recreationally for probably about 7, 8 years. I'm not exactly sure how long, maybe 6 years. I don't know. Jamie
Mm-hmm.
McDonald of Ravenbeak Bows was my first teacher. So I'll be going to see him again at the end of the month to carve an English longbow with him. So those were the first bows
Oh,
that
great.
I carved were English longbows with Jamie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so
Yeah. He makes great bows. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he
Lots of
does.
U. Uh-huh.
Yeah. How long have you been in Arnhem?
I think, some passes between towns, but mostly all my life. Yeah,
Okay.
I like the town. It's located near a national park, so lots of woods. Yeah, like 5 minutes from my home, I can walk into the woods and not meet anybody for a few hours. So that's a nice thing to have, walk around in nature, and it's a small town, but it has everything you need. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, it's our first European stop. We're excited. My daughter's never been to Europe, so
Okay.
this will
Yeah.
be her first experience.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So
Yeah.
I think it's nice that we're starting in Arnhem. It's a bit smaller, so it probably won't be quite as intimidating as some of the cities we'll be traveling through.
hmm Yeah, we just done a 2-month tour around Europe with our motorhome,
Oh, really?
visiting in all European cities, or mostly in Eastern Europe. That was lots of fun. Yeah, great to do. Yeah.
What were some of your favorite places?
Well, Budapest and Prague were
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful cities, and Dubrovnik in Croatia
Uh-huh.
also really well. Inspired me or struck me. Yeah, it's a beautiful
Yeah,
medieval town, like a Venetian castle. And as a history teacher, I mean, I have to
of
visit
course.
castles all the time. So a vacation is not complete without a few castles on the way. So I have to. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, right after we leave you, we're gonna take a train to Prague. So we get to spend a few days in
Okay,
Prague. Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And then on the way, we're going to stop in Munich because there's a surfing wave pool there. So I need to get it in the water for a few hours before we carry on with our journey.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I think I picked that up. You also served in Costa Rica, right?
Surf a lot, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So on a little holiday from that right now, but it'll be good to. I've never surfed in a wave pool, and Munich has a really beautiful one. So
Okay,
we're
that's like an automatic wave system,
yeah,
or
yeah, just a beautiful wave that happens like periodically every few seconds, and there's a number of people who share the pool at the same time, so everyone gets
hmm
their waves. I think you get like 15 to 20 waves in an hour, which is
okay,
not usual in the ocean to get quite
yeah,
that many waves, especially consistent, perfectly formed waves. So it'll be fun.
yeah,
And it breaks up our journey because I think it's a pretty long trip from your place to Prague by train. I think it's like 9 or 10 hours.
could be, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
we
So,
did it in a couple of days, so a couple of
right.
weeks actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll stop in Munich to break that up. But yeah, that's,
Okay,
you have kids, right?
I have one son. Yeah,
One son? Okay.
Boris. He's 4 years old at the moment. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's going to school in a couple of months, a couple of weeks actually. Yeah,
Just starting, right? His
yeah,
first time?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's exciting for
That's
parents and
amazing.
for him.
Yeah. Yeah. One of
Yeah.
my favorite photos of yours is, I think it's on your Instagram, but I think you're walking hand in hand with your son and you have a bow in your hand. That's
Yeah. I mean,
that's
it.
beautiful.
Yeah. He picked up the bow about half a year ago or something, and I shoot at the back in the backyard and around the workshop.
Hmm.
And so he sees me do it all the time. And then I made him a small little bow and arrows, of course. And he just picked it up, set up a target, and began shooting. And I was like, "What? How, how is it possible?" And I said to my wife, "You teach him. I mean, I'm not gonna teach my son archery because maybe I'm too. I want to push things, So you do
Yeah.
it."
Yeah.
And she didn't tell him a whole lot. She just taught him the basics, and he just started shooting. And it amazes me because he never shot before, and just suddenly those arrows were flying. And so I made one bow for a kid that lives next door. He's twice his age. He's about 8, I think. And sure enough, Boris said, my son, no, you have to click the arrow on the string and pull with these fingers and pull it. And I was like, man, it's amazing, just by
That's
observing,
awesome.
you can
Uh-huh.
learn a lot, obviously. So that's really cool to see with your own kid, just what kind of impact the things you do, and just by observing, he's learning. That's
Yeah,
great to see. Yeah.
that's incredible. So your wife does archery too?
Not that much. No, we
Yeah.
did some competitions or just some 3D shoots, just for fun.
Yeah.
At an island around here. The Netherlands has some beautiful islands around the coast, and every year there's a big 3D shoot over there, and it's a beautiful place to go visit. So on holiday, why not shoot some arrows? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So did your love of history get you into archery and bow making, or was it the other way around?
I think it was the love for historical movies because I watched a lot of movies like Lord of the Rings or Robin Hood, of course, King Arthur, all those historical dramas like Gladiator as well.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I just could put those movies on repeat. Every holiday in the
Yeah.
summer, I would live in a cool room at my parents' house, and I'd have a big screen, DVD surround sound system, and just play that movie over and again. And every time just hit on pause every time a bow came into the frame and figure out how did they do it, or how what was the shape. And then in history class I would draw those shapes in the workbooks, when the teacher was preaching about or yapping about stuff, I would just draw bows. And so I think that the two combined a bit. And then I just started making bows when I was 12 years old, out of sticks from
Oh wow.
in the woods, cutting yew branches. And because we have yew trees over here as well, but not the
Okay.
same quality as the ones you get in Vancouver or in Canada.
Yeah.
But that's when it started. And yeah, and then later on, cutting bigger and bigger trees. And then I thought, well, it's just not that convenient anymore for me to be cutting trees around my neighborhood, because everybody's gonna know who cut that tree down, that guy who's a woodworker over here. So I thought, why not turn things around and make other types of bows as well? And that's when I got into bamboo and laminating bows, because as you know, you can make bows out of single pieces uh, of woods, but also laminate them together. And that's when I started laminating bows with hardwoods and bamboo. Yeah,
And what about the Japanese influence? Where did that come from?
yeah. So the Japanese bow, of course, the shape is very different from what most people think a bow should look like, because it's an asymmetrical shape. It's over 2 meters long. I don't know how many foot that is, but
Yeah,
it's a very
it's well
long
over
bow.
6 feet. I think some of
Oh,
them are
six.
like 7
Okay.
and 8 feet long. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so the thing is that th- a lot of people think those bows might be impractical to shoot, especially in hunting or in warfare, but they're actually very powerful and fast. And the way they are created is, well, to me, is looking at the material and the shape and combining those together. It's about the harmonics of the materials because it's mainly made out of bamboo. And as you know, bamboo has nodes, and nodes are weak spots, but also uh, the hardest spot on the stem, the culm. So there's a problem over there with the material. You cannot put two nodes at the same spot because you have a very stiff spot in the bow.
Okay.
So you have to alternate, stagger the nodes. And it's also, well, they don't talk about it as much in the Japanese archery world, but if you look at the way the tree grows, or the grass, I should say, the same way the culm grows, the same way the bow is constructed. So what I mean by that is the bottom of the stem, the culm, is also the bottom of the bow, and the
Okay.
top is also the top of the bow. And it's not only something they do a lot in bow making, but also in furniture making, or even with making a house, a wooden frame. They would use the bottom stem for the bottom of the home, and the top branches for the top. And now I'm gonna get real into detail, but
Please.
if you go higher up the culm, the higher up you go in the bamboo, the further apart the nodes are.
Okay.
So the material is more flexible and a little bit not weaker, but more flexible, easier to bend. And so if you have a bamboo lamination that is over 2 meters long, or 7 foot, I think
Yeah, I think
said
6 foot 6.5 feet
six
would
foot
be 2
six,
meters. Mm-hmm.
then naturally the bottom of the culm of the strip would be stiffer than the top because the nodes are closer together at the bottom than they are at the top. I hope that makes sense. I
Yeah,
in,
absolutely. So
yeah, so
that's how you tell when you're not harvesting the bamboo what the top and the bottom is with the spacing.
when you're harvesting, or
If you don't actually harvest the bamboo, if you're like
yeah,
buying the bamboo staves, you can tell the
mm,
top and the bottom based on the spacing.
yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Um, I have a piece over here. If I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah.
this is the node, and there's
Yes.
a little ridge over there, and the
Yeah.
ridge always faces up, and so you can see in this piece maybe that the spacings are not that far apart over here,
Mm-hmm.
but they're much wider in the top. So this
The top.
bends a lot easier than
Yeah.
the bottom. So that's
Okay.
that's also part of the way the Yumi is glued up, and the why the Yumi is asymmetrical.
And the Yumi
Yeah,
is the name of the Japanese bow. What does Yumi mean?
a bow.
Bow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
is that the primary style of bow in Japan, or are there other bows as well?
Hardly any other.
Okay.
Hardly. It's I'm not really an expert on Kido or Japanese archery. I know something about it, but I would not call myself an expert. But um, if you look at the materials used in those bows, they all come from mainland China or Japan as well, of course. And so it's unique to that culture or that area. And so it's like a natural occurrence, you use the materials you have on hand to make
Yes.
the bow you want to make. So you have to look at the material, how it grows, and where it's available or not. They wouldn't make Osage bows in Japan simply because it's not available 500
Mm-hmm.
years ago. Yeah, yeah.
What about? I mean, there are plenty of other woods. What about like cherry wood? Do they
Yeah, you
use
could
that at
use
all?
Yeah, you could use cherry. Well, the main advantage, because you laminate the bamboo with the core, you can
Okay.
combine woods. And
Yep.
so we were talking about Osage or Pacific yew. They're highly regarded as one of the best bow woods to make a self bow out of.
Hmm.
But the advantage of laminating bows is, to me, is you can use hardwoods that are on their own not suitable for bow making, but
Right.
combined with bamboo, they make the best combination, because you can use pieces like wenge or other hardwoods that would be so
Yeah.
brittle they would break, but the bamboo holds it all together. Yeah.
And in Japan, traditionally, what were the main core woods that were used?
Yeah, so they would laminate cores. I can show you a little bit like this one.
Yep.
I don't know if you can
Yeah, I can see.
check that out, but the sides would be hase. That's a Japanese wax tree. That's
Hmm.
a wood species that's I cannot find it anywhere outside of Japan. I cannot go to a local wood supplier and say, I want to have a Japanese wax tree. They hardly import it from Japan, I think.
Hmm.
But they will have hardwood sides, hase, and then multiple strips of bamboo, and sometimes oak or maple in the center. Yeah,
Okay. So am I looking at the belly of the bow that you were just showing?
both. Yeah. So this is this is a core that I make. So these are two strips of wenge wood at the
Yeah.
side, bamboo, and then this one is masaranduba, but it could be other hardwoods as well. And so the way it works is you actually taper the core on one side and leave the other uh, straight, and
Okay.
then laminate two pieces of bamboo like this, like so.
Wow. So
So
what
that's
is the physical advantage to having different linear layers running along the core? Like normally when I do laminates, it's each layer as you go deeper or shallower into the bow is its own unique wood. There's not the linear layers that you have.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
the
That's
advantage to that style?
that. Yeah, you're talking about the more common things you can see in the English longbow
Yeah.
construction. That's
Yeah.
yeah. So um, well, if you have a very light bow, like a very thin core like this, you would have, I don't know, 2 mils of Purple Heart, 2 mils of
Yep.
Wenge or whatever. Uh,
I
this
was just working on a bow last night with Purple Heart and Wenge. Yeah.
okay, yeah, well, common woods to use, yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, the advantage is you can use a bamboo core, which is lightweight, but very
Hmm.
resilient. So you have a core you can adjust for the properties you want. So
Hmm.
for instance, if you want to have a heavy bow that really packs a punch, you shoot heavy arrows, mainly for hunting or warfare in the old days, you would have a different construction in that core. You would have, well, I'm not gonna talk all the details, but a
Yeah.
little bit different, how do you say it? Different parts for different types of shooting.
Different densities of
So
wood and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah.
or different variations with thicker bamboo or thinner or multiple layers. Or so, for
Okay.
instance, if you want to have a real subtle bow
Yeah.
that draws very smooth, but it's still very powerful, you would add maybe 2 or 4 more bamboo layers in there,
Oh wow.
and that's just because of it's more subtle, but it still is very resilient. So it will still shoot that arrow very precise and fast. That's what you want.
Hmm.
Right? Sometimes, sometimes not.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the core we're looking at. Is there also a belly layer,
Yeah.
or does that make up part of the belly as well?
Oh, here I have. So this one is ready to be glued up.
Oh, that's right.
So
You said the
here,
bamboo is the belly. Bamboo
yeah,
has
the
the
bamboo
belly
is
and the
the
back.
belly and the back. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So that's why you have to stagger the notes, because if you don't, if you
Yes.
have a note on a note, then it's a very stiff spot in the bow. So that's
Okay.
why you stagger them, and I measure the distance between those
Yeah.
and put the one in the middle. And so this is actually ready to be glued up, and this is how it works. So you have two bamboo facings, the core, and then you glue it up like so. And the way I glue it up is just like the Japanese bow makers do with rope and wedges. So you wrap the whole core with a rope. You go one time and go back again. So you make all these
Yeah.
crossings over there. And then you have a wedge like this.
Yeah.
It's just a simple waste product of the bamboo. I mean, why
Yeah.
not? Why not recycle these things? And you place a wedge every time you pass that X sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And if you place a wedge over on this side, you would get a curve facing the other way. And if you
Okay.
want to have a recurve
Yeah.
or a deflex, you can change the wedges on the
I can
side.
see that
So,
right behind you. There's one. You can see how
yeah,
it's
so
curving.
this one I glued up today. Yeah,
Okay.
so this is how it works essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fascinating. Wow.
yeah,
Okay, so how did
yeah,
you get into this art of Yumi bow carving?
yeah. So there's another Dutch guy. Um, his name is Jaap Koppendraaier, and he actually lives in what was it, Georgia, in the US, and
Okay.
he grows his own bamboo. And so there's thousands of bamboo species, but there are only a few that work for bow making. So he actually grows the bamboo that is specifically for bow making, and he studied under Shibata Sensei in Japan. That's a Japanese bow maker, and well, he did some workshops, I think maybe 10 or 12 years ago, and I thought, well, why not do a workshop with him? I
Yeah.
was thinking about going to Japan or going to Yap, and I thought, well, my English is okay, but my Japanese is non-existent, so
Yeah.
I might as well go to the US and practice with him. And so I did a workshop with him for a week, along with two other guys, and well, there was a connection there and a friendship. And I said to him, well, can I come back, and harvest bamboo with you? Because he has to move his van around, go to places where the bamboo grows and cut it and cure it and split it and all these things that take a lot of time. And so I said, well, I'll help you if you have a job for me. I can work a few weeks for you and just for cost and living, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you say those things
Yeah,
in English, but whatever.
that works. Yeah.
So I did that for 2 or 3 consecutive years, and I
Wow.
learned a lot in those months of working with him, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. And
That's amazing. What
yeah,
a
yeah,
mentorship opportunity. What's his
yeah.
name? Yap? You said Yap?
Jaap Koppendraaier. Yeah, if you're
Okay.
ever in Georgia, go look him up.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it was Waylon Olive when I was in North Carolina that was telling me about him.
yeah, yeah. He's
Um,
a living legend, I think,
okay.
about among bow makers. Yeah,
Well, I definitely want to look him up. Does he have a social media presence or a website?
yeah. He has Facebook.
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 All
Yeah.
right. I
He's
don't. I will try to find him.
yeah, he's ta- well, he's how do you say it? He's slowing down at the moment, so
Mm-hmm.
he's still making bows, still making yumis. He loves making yumis. But he's been making them since the 80s or something.
Wow.
Horn bows, yumis, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, he's my guy, so why not go to him? And it took off from there. You only need just uh, someone to help you along, and then just growth is exponential. So just
Yeah.
a workshop can do a lot. Yeah,
Now, does he also, and do you also practice like the traditional art of Japanese archery?
I have. Yeah, in the past, because I became fascinated by these bows, how they were constructed. I thought, well, now I have to shoot it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a dojo here in the Netherlands, a couple of dojos, and I practiced Kido for a couple of years, but in the end, the Kido world is a lot different than, well, Western archery, so to say. So to combine those styles were not that great for my results. So
Okay.
I do a lot of 3D archery
Yeah.
with my own bows, not really with Yumis, but with the different designs I have. And so at one time, if you're very tired and at the end of the day, you put the arrow on the wrong side of the bow or the left side, and all the steps, and I thought, oh, it's hurting me more than it's bringing to me in archery. So I thought I'm gonna choose either one, not both.
Okay.
So I quit Kido a couple of years ago, but I still practice the Yumi a couple of times a year. Yeah,
Uh-huh. And is
not
that the
that often.
style that you have to shoot with a Yumi, or can you shoot the kind of Mediterranean style that you're more used to?
Well, uh, depends on who you ask. But if you
Yeah,
ask me,
exactly.
if you ask me, I think there's a benefit in the Kido style, but it's the Kido style is a lot different than what the Yumi was sort of supposed to be doing. 100 or 50, 200 years ago, they would still be shooting arrows on the battlefield, and you want heavy arrows that pack a punch and heavy bows, and there's a technique that goes along with shooting those bows. Same as the English war bow, there's a
Yeah.
specific technique you have to practice, and I think that the Yumi is a very powerful bow in its own, and the way you shoot it with the thumb, almost like a thumb ring, only then with a glove. The
Hmm.
release is very powerful. So it's kind of the same with the Mediterranean. If your release is weak, the shot won't work for you, and you will lose power and speed. It's a kind of the same thing, I think, in my opinion. The same thumb shooting technique you have with Asian style bows.
Yeah.
So,
So can you walk me through your understanding of the traditional technique?
you mean the Asian style, the
Ye
Kido style?
Kyoto style, yeah.
Okay,
Because the draw is a lot longer, isn't it? You go way beyond your mouth on the draw.
yeah.
I,
So,
anyway, I'll let you describe it. No
okay, let me
pressure,
grab
no
an
pressure.
let me grab an arrow over here because that'll
Yeah.
make it a little bit easier. So this is like a Kido style arrow,
Okay.
and in Western archery you would use a Mediterranean grip, as you say.
Yeah.
We- Um,
Three
and there are
three fingers
benefits to
traditionally.
that, and 3 fingers, yeah, or under the arrow, whatever.
Hmm.
In Kido style, you would kind of like a thumb ring, hook the string behind your thumb, and there's a
Yeah.
little notch that goes in the glove, so to say.
Okay.
Um, and then you, instead of pinching down your thumb, you
Yeah.
would just place your fingers over it, and it would become a natural hook.
Okay.
So it would be like hanging when you're standing in the bus or in the subway, and you would hold your weight
Yeah.
on one of those loops,
Yeah.
and hold yourself steady. You're not grabbing it, you're not forcefully trying to get it, but just hanging on there. That's the same
Hmm.
thing with that technique.
Okay.
And the way there are two schools, two styles, and this is a little bit out of frame, but you would uh, lift the bow up and the arrow above your head, and then
Wow.
push pull at the same time, and then
Push pull. Okay.
yeah, and pull it behind. Or that's a different school. That's more of the older technique, more associated with the heavier bows and more the
Okay.
war style. Is go low and then push pull.
Okay.
So it's more like a English longbow, I think. I've never shot a English warbow over 100 pound, but it's about the same. You put your body in the shot, and
Hmm.
that's about the same. So a lot of modern Kido practitioners, they shoot this style. They raise the bow up, they raise the arrow, and kind of like dropping your your arm, you would have a sort of an advantage with the draw. Yeah,
Hmm.
and that's why you come naturally behind your ear. Yeah,
Okay.
and if you look at the behind shot, you have these archers pulling past their ear, and they'll have glasses on or their ear literally behind the string, and everybody's figuring out, how would they not, shoot their ear off or their glasses
Yes.
off. But
Yes.
that's kind of the way the bow works. Sorry, is that the string is on one side of the bow, on the right side, and you would a little bit sort of twist the bow and release, and the bow will turn around. So
Wow.
actually, the string will not hit you, but will turn around your shot. Yeah,
So that's part
that's
of the
kind of how it
technique.
works.
If you mess up that technique, do you get smacked in the face by the string?
Yeah, yeah,
Ouch.
yeah, yeah.
Shit.
Sometimes it happened to me sometimes as well, where people get
Ah.
afraid of letting go, and
Yeah.
it's in those moments that things go wrong. If you have fear and doubt in your shot of, oh, I'm gonna hit my face, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
shoot right around my cheek, then yeah, sure enough, it happens. But
Wow.
you learn pretty quickly not to do that anymore. Yeah, that's
What's a
how.
typical draw weight on these bows?
Mm, well, um, most of the Yumi bows are what I would call a little bit lightweight, so
Mm-hmm.
15 kilos or 30 pounds,
Okay.
something like that. 30 pounds, maybe 20 kilos, 40 pounds, something in those ranges. There are people who shoot more than 45 pounds and more than 20 kilos, but
Yeah.
uh, I don't know. I've never been to Japan, so I have not seen it with my own eyes. But there are people shooting 100 pounds and 120 pounds. Yeah.
Oh wow. For the
So
Yumi bows. Wow.
yeah, and so it's not like a whimsy, just
Yeah.
beautiful shot. It's just, no, it was a weapon, so it was effective. Yeah. So
Yeah. And then the draw length must be significantly longer, like 32 inches?
well, around 37 or
37.
yeah.
Wow.
So it's the you have different lengths of bows for
Yeah.
different lengths of draw.
Yeah.
And so the most common is like a Nisun in the Western world, or a Namisun that is 90 centimeter draw, or
Hmm.
100 centimeter draw. So in Japan they do all metric and no inches and
Yeah,
no
yeah.
pounds, but that's how they are measured. Yeah,
Yeah, 100 centimeters. That's like nearly 40 inches, 38 or something. It's huge.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
arrows are quite long.
yeah. They're as long as your draw.
Yeah.
A lot of times the arrow would just hit your knuckle, or a little bit extend a little bit over that, because for safety reasons a lot of people don't actually want the arrow to stop right at the end. They want
Yeah.
a little bit safety. But there are ways, in the, well, I call it ancient days, and not say ancient, but a couple hundreds of years ago, they would, you have manuscripts talking about, release as when you hit the arrowhead with your, or when you hit the arrowhead with your hand. So you have the
Right.
consistent draw when
Yeah.
you feel the arrowhead hitting your hand, and
Right.
then release. Yeah.
And then the release is that like letting go of taking your fingers off your thumb? What's special? How do you do the release?
Yeah. Yeah. No idea. No, I could not explain it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not really. Oh man, you would have to ask a Kido teacher, a sensei,
Yeah.
and even he would maybe say something that he's not maybe 100% sure about, because
Right.
the guy Joel Turner. I don't know if you've heard about him, but he's
No.
okay. You should look him up. He's a real interesting guy
Okay.
who talks about like the release in the shot, and
Yeah.
how everybody struggles with target panic, even if you never heard
I've
about it.
I've heard of it recently, but I've never experienced it. But yeah.
Well,
I might
he
now that people
says,
keep telling me about it.
yeah, I think everybody, you know, the he no, his theory is your brain works a certain way, and that's for all of us. You know, it's the same. You have your subconscious mind trying to override your system. So I'm not gonna tell everything because you have to take his course. You know, that explains everything in detail.
Oh, I have heard of
But
him. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
moment upon release, there's something in your brain that triggers, well, all sorts of things, sort of say. So, and he's talking about taking control in your shop and overriding your nervous system, sort of speaking, overriding your subconscious mind, uh, so you can make a proper release in your shop.
Mm,
And so you're asking me how do you release your
yeah,
arrow in Kido? Honestly, for me, that's where the magic happens.
right.
And Joel Turner would say,
Yeah.
no, that's not where the magic happens. That is where you have to take control. But um, so to me, it's always when you release it, you go through certain steps in your head. You
Hmm.
go um, well, you go through your shot, sort of say, and then you can slowly let go and let go and let go and let go and let go.
Mm,
But there are so many steps before that. I
right.
could not explain it.
Well,
No.
I read Eugene Herrigold's book, Zen and the Art of Archery, which is a fascinating book. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I've not read it, but I'm familiar
Oh,
with it. Yeah, a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also another one, Zen Bow, Zen Arrow, which is based on that one as well. Both really good reads, especially for someone who's into Japanese archery. I recommend it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a large premise of the book is about that release and how much emphasis is put on that in the Japanese tradition. And it's almost like in Taoism, we would say, I think, like Wu Wei, which means like effortless action. There's like
Hmm.
this effortless release where if you tell your mind you're going to release, you mess up. And so you almost
Yeah.
have to release simultaneously to when your mind knows you're going to release. So it comes up almost as a surprise. Now I may be absolutely butchering what I don't even know if that's in the book, but this is um, what I've kind of read in various places. So it's you have to trick
Yeah.
your mind into not knowing that you're going to release, so that there
Exactly.
isn't
And
that target panic or anything. It's the release is effortless.
funny
So
you say that because it's the same things that Joel Turner found out in his journey in archery and target panic and that sort of
mm,
stuff. And when I shoot Kido, that's that's what I call mystery. I don't know when I'm releasing, it
right,
just happens. And so I could not really explain it.
yeah,
Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know.
or it might be a great thing.
But yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a different feeling than in Western archery, I think, because you're so struggling to hit target or so focused on hitting the target. And the basic rule in Kido is good form will, well, the reward for a good form will be your point or hitting target.
Hmm.
So that's the end result. And in
Hmm.
Western archery, it's kind of the other way around. Maybe it's more about shooting the points in competitions, and the
Mm.
way you do it should be consistent. But as long as you shoot the point, and that's different in Kido. You know, it's a
Fascinating.
result. Yeah.
Yeah. What other, you mentioned you carve other types of bows. What other styles or types of bows do you carve?
Yeah. So well, I mainly work with bamboo, hence
Okay.
bamboo bows, of course.
Yep. Yep.
So almost all my bows have some sort of bamboo in them, and almost all of them have this type of core.
Hmm.
So because it's I think very beneficial to the power of the bow, because the core to me is the powerhouse of the whole thing. Um, so other bow types I make are the Orion, or Orion, as you might say. It's a
I'm not
combination of
familiar with that.
horn. I can show you. This so this is a bow that is waiting for a customer, or
Wow.
it's sold already, I mean, but the customer
Yep.
is coming.
Yep.
So this is a combination of the bamboo, and this
Yeah.
is fire hardened and smoked, so treated.
Yeah.
And this is the dark wenge wood you see in the same core.
Yeah.
And in it, in the belly side, is a horn.
Wow.
So it's a bit like a combination of the Japanese style and horn bows,
Yeah.
and uh, that's kind of what I put together in one
That's
bow.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
What type of horn?
So this is gemsbok and oryx, or
Oryx. Yeah.
yeah. You have
Wow.
different
That's
types of
beautiful.
gemsbok. This
Mm-hmm.
is the more common type, I think. You know that you have the Baisa or something. I don't know the terms, but they're endangered species,
Okay.
which this is not. I assure you.
Okay.
and the other species that's way more common. And
Yeah.
so the way it works is you have one horn. You can cut down in the middle, sand it, and you can get it for one bow. So one horn
Wow.
usually makes one bow. Yeah.
That's
That's a
stunning.
little bit different than the Turkish style or Ottoman style, if you will.
Right.
That
And
usually takes two horns for one bow. Yeah.
and so I know like the Asiatic horn bows typically take a long time to make. One of the reasons is to allow the sinew and all the layers of glue to dry. Is this
Yeah.
different because you're not using sinew? Or does it still
Yeah, it
take
is.
6 months to make?
It still makes 6 months to make
It
because
still does.
I have many projects to work on.
Yeah.
If you want, you can make this type of bow much faster. But um, I just
Right.
I work on many projects. But the
Yeah.
benefit because of this design is, you have the bamboo back. It's
Yeah.
as you say, it's much quicker than waiting for the sinew to dry, because 6 months is just for the outer layer, the last layer. But before that, you have to wait a couple of weeks for other layers as well, because
Yeah.
most of the horn composite with sinew have to, well, they take a year, so
Yeah.
at least to make and to dry. Uh, yeah.
So is that your own style? Did you kind of create that, or is that based off of a
Yeah,
cultural bow?
the Orion is um, what I call my design. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's more a combination of different types of bows all put together, and it's very resemblance of the five curve style Asian bows you have.
Hmm.
They are made of bamboo, like the Han style bow you
Right.
have on the market at the moment, and I make those as well. And those are all bamboo composites. And there are other bow makers who use this method as well. I'm not the only one, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So the five curve with the bamboo and horn. This is something I was fascinated about. Yeah,
How does that shoot? It must shoot really well.
yeah, fast. Yeah.
Wow.
So on average, this is most of my bows. They have a lot of pretension. So what I mean by that is,
Yeah.
they're all glued up in reflex, like the
Yeah.
Japanese Yumi, like 30 or 40 centimeters of reflex, and they have to bend the other way around. So that's a lot of power already in the bow.
Hmm.
And um, the combination of horn with that bow, you have to be careful because the horn is heavy. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of mass. You don't want a lot of mass in the bow. So you have to, always seek the limit. On average, they would shoot 180 feet per second with 10
Wow.
grain per pound. And well, if you go lighter with arrows, obviously they would go faster. But they're pretty fast bows and they hold up very well. And so that's what I found. I wanted a type of horn bow that would be a little bit more easier to maintain. So a customer or myself would be in the woods and just string it up, and no worries, you can go straight to shooting. Instead of horn bows, in my opinion, are a little bit more subtle, or sensitive. I mean, to
Okay.
humidity or climate, or unbalancing of the limbs. So you always have to work it a little bit, and that's not a big issue. But if you don't know how to do that, and if the customer is 1,000 miles away, then it's a little bit more difficult to say, how to adjust the horn bow than it is to say,
Yeah.
okay, just string it and balance it, and you're done. Yeah.
Amazing. Those are so beautiful. You said you started making your own bows when you were 12. What was your inspiration?
Yeah, those movies,
The
Robin
movies.
Hood,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I wanted to shoot those arrows, and even if they would shoot like 30 yards, I would be amazed,
Yeah.
like how could this little stick with feathers shoot in the air, and how does that work? Just a simple stick and the string, and so that's what really, it intrigued me. How does that work? How can an arrow fly straight from
Mm-hmm.
just a stick and a string?
And and when did you start to get really serious about making bows? When did you
Yeah,
become
I
a
think,
bowyer?
um, well, my company Bamboo Bows is around for a couple of years now, and I would say that is when I really started uh, with making bows professionally and selling them worldwide.
Mm.
Before that, I did sell some bows, but they were mainly long bows or flat bows that I made in the shed, in the and there are lots of fun projects over there, in that period. A lot of different bow designs, but professionally, I've been working for a couple of years now, and I'm 34 now at the moment, so that's a pretty long time I've been doing this, and I think I'll do this until the end of my time. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Why? What is it about it that is so special to you?
Well, mm, you know, it's first of all, it's so cool you can make stuff. I mean, it doesn't really matter what, if you want to have a furniture, a chair, or a table. I mean, making stuff is cool,
Yeah.
and it sometimes got a bad reputation, mainly over here in the Netherlands. You have to be an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor,
Mm.
or making stuff. Who's gonna buy your stuff? And it's all, you know,
Everyone gets their
it's
stuff from IKEA and
yeah, exactly. You're a big business to compete with, and there's no market for that. And I mean,
yeah.
who cares? I mean, even
Do
if
what you love.
yeah, even if there's no market for it, whatever. I mean, if you're not enjoying what you're doing,
Yeah.
then there's something wrong. So I really enjoy making it, and like I say, making the bows is what I love to do, and I make bows for my kid and wooden boats, so he can take out in the pond. And making stuff is cool. That's the first reason,
Yeah.
and the other reason is, um, there's so many things happening in your world, in your personal world or in the outside world. I think everybody needs a sort of way to get in your own little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, that's yoga or meditation or playing an instrument, guitar, piano, or whatever, painting. And for me, that's, picking up a wood scraper and
Yeah.
scrape away on some piece of wood that will be later be functional as a uh, full bow. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I really love as well. Put your favorite podcast, put your favorite music playlist on, and
Yeah.
just go to work. And that's something a lot of teacher colleagues of mine as well. They say, I'm so, well, jealous is not the right word. But I'm so happy for you, maybe,
Yeah.
that you
Some
have
of
to
them are
find
jealous.
whatever. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
uh, you know, to have something in your life that really takes you to the core,
Mm-hmm.
that's really cool. And as I say, there can be many things, but to me, that's making bows. Yeah, making
It
bows and arrows.
I'm finding it's a universal theme for bowyers. like the
Oh,
therapeutic
really?
aspect.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single person I've talked to, I think, like does it out of pure love, and the meditative therapeutic aspect is something that is invaluable to them,
Yeah.
myself included. Like everything
Yeah.
you just described, putting on a favorite playlist or a podcast, and
Yeah.
just putting a draw knife or a scraper to a piece of wood, and know that you're creating this formidable weapon that's also a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah. Stepping into a world of your own.
Yeah.
It's And that's what I really love, making your own instrument or your own bow in this regard, and taking them out and make something fully functional and shoot them. And
Yeah.
that's what I find is very special, and that's what I cherish about
Mm.
this. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I would say that's one of the inspirations for this book that my daughter and I are doing, and that bow making is so different than any other woodworking, because I can't think of an
yeah,
exception, but if you're a furniture builder or a knife maker or a axe handle maker, all those pieces of wood are static. Like you create
yeah,
something and
exactly.
it
Yeah,
doesn't move, but a bowyer has to create something out of wood that's going to be pushed to its absolute limit
yeah.
hundreds and thousands of times.
That's
And
exactly the same thing that fascinated me, but also frustrates
it's,
sometimes.
of course, the art
Yeah,
of the tiller is like
exactly. Yeah.
never ending. We can all make something that looks like a bow, but to actually tiller it right so it actually
Yeah,
shoots and doesn't break is another matter.
yeah, yeah.
And everyone who I teach archery in Costa Rica, and uh, I have like basically when I open up the door to my quiver of bows, there's always this moment where like everyone takes a deep collective breath and just like, and they look at these beautiful things, because I don't think any of them were expecting that. I think they were just
Hmm.
expecting some, I don't know, maybe a fiberglass bow or just a piece of wood, but they are so beautiful. And it's something that everyone who sees them just like wants to hold them and stare at them. Of course they want to shoot them too, but like just holding that beautiful piece of art and knowing that it's not just something you can look at, but it's something that you actually get to shoot, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it also, it connects with a deeper nature of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's something that our ancestors used to survive, to to hunt with, to provide with, also
Absolutely.
wage wars with. So there's a connection there, I think.
Hmm.
And I find it funny that you say the same things about, it's not a static thing, because that's why I'm saying it's something that fascinates me, but also frustrates me, because there's all these things that can go wrong, and will go wrong sometimes, with bow making. I mean, people who are so have so much experience or an experts on anything, they make things look so easy. So everybody thinks like, oh, it's
Yeah.
wow, he just does that in 10 minutes, and I'm taking all day working away on this stave. But it's so cool that I often I don't know if this is the right comparison, but I also often compare it with a guitar, like an acoustic guitar.
Hmm.
It's when people ask me how do I take care of my bow, I'd say the same. If you have an acoustic guitar, just don't put it in the sunlight, don't put it in the car, because the string tension is kind of the same thing with the wood.
Yeah.
It will bend and it will adjust itself. So maybe a guitar woodworker would say the same thing that we're saying
Hmm.
right now. But because
Yeah.
when things are going
Instruments are
bad,
pretty
and
fascinating. Yeah.
yeah, and when we all have bows that break. I mean, it happens to me every now and then as well. It happens to everybody. And in those moments, I often say to myself, "Oh man, I wish I could just make furniture or tables, or just make some chairs. Oh man, why do I have to pick such a
Yeah.
first of all such a small piece of you know
Hmm.
of a market or whatever, but also just such a difficult thing. But then again, I would not make very good tables and very good chairs, so
Hmm.
I think I might have to stick with this. So I would not trust the chair I sit on. So
Yeah. Do you have any influence from your your family or your ancestors in woodworking?
Well, not really woodworking, no. My father, he's an engineer and he worked at power plants. He's retired now, but he could fix your bike, he fix your motor, fix your car or whatever with metal. He would, how you call, when you connect pieces of metal, welding. He
Welding.
could
Yeah.
weld, that sort of stuff. So he was my go-to guy to fix anything. A
Okay.
broken toy. Okay, Dad, could you please fix it?
Yeah.
And so that was also part of my inspiration to make things because it's, yeah, as I said, it's so cool to have some thoughts in your head. I want to make this or that, or could it be possible to adjust things and just create it? And so that to me, I think, was the first step. He opened me my world to fixing things and making stuff. So that's where it began, and I think that the workshop, as I said, with Jaap Koppedraai really took things off.
Hmm.
If anybody is thinking about making their own bows or arrows or whatever, or guitar for that instance, I mean, go to a workshop. I mean, there are so many people making things and doing workshop at the moment. It's crazy. I think everybody's doing workshops at the moment, but I
Yeah.
understand now the reason. It's so cool to, first of all, as a teacher, to connect with people who are willing to do and wanting to do the same thing as you, but also learning about what it takes to make it. I mean, we're so um, spoiled in that sense, like IKEA or made in
Yeah.
China or whatever.
Yeah.
Just get it on Amazon, eBay, or
Hmm.
whatever platform. But the appreciation for handmade tools, handmade instruments, you learn a lot about it, and your appreciation for it really grows. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I think every person in Project Quiver teaches either bow making or archery or a bit of both. There's definitely something there about, I think, passing this art on, passing on the legacy and helping others to learn about it. And every not everyone, but most men who come and do archery with me, they want to learn how to make the bows afterwards. They're like, can I make one?
Okay.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet as a teacher, but
Okay.
eventually
But
I'd like to.
that is one of your goals to
Um, yeah, I think it's a natural progression of where things are going with my. I'm building a workshop right now in Costa Rica, and so I'm a practitioner. I'm an acupuncturist. I practice Chinese medicine. And
Okay.
where I live, it's very seasonal. There's the rainy season 6 months of the year, and then the dry season 6 months of the year. And the dry season is when all the visitors come and everyone who lives in my community, everyone's there. So that's when I'm absolutely busiest with acupuncture. But in the rainy season, a lot of people leave. School's out, kids go back to wherever, tourists don't come. So I have a lot more time. So I would
Hmm.
like to kind of divide that up and in the rainy season do certainly some bow carving, but also doing some workshops. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. But
That's nice.
I'm I'm a long way from there, but I have 15 amazing teachers lined up for this book. So I think by the end
Yeah.
of it, I should be in pretty good shape to at least have a better sense of how to do it. But once my
Yeah.
workshop is built out, I think it'll be done by December. Then I'm going to start playing around with local woods in Costa Rica because that's very different than what I have available here on Vancouver Island, where I have
Hmm.
all sorts of white woods and yew and you name it. I can go into the lumber stores
Yeah.
too and buy any number of exotic woods, but in Costa Rica, it's much more limited. Um, but there is a very good bow wood called Dagame or lemonwood.
Oh yeah. 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 I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I told this story on the podcast or not, but I've been looking for this wood in Costa Rica because I've heard of it. I've never worked with lemonwood or Dagame, but I've heard it's an incredible bow wood. I was talking with, I believe it was Chuck Loeffler on my interview with him, and he was talking about how the wood was, almost extincted from Bowyers. It was so popular. It
Hmm.
grows naturally in Central America. It's the national tree of Nicaragua, which is our neighboring country. So it's protected there. I'd asked around. I went to some lumber yards trying to figure out, does anyone know where I can get Dagame? No one knew. I think it's called Salomo in Costa Rica. Um, and then just well, I guess it's been about a month ago now. Um, the guy who's building my new carving studio, he was there. We were checking out the land, and I have this beautiful swing that I made out of driftwood that's hanging from this tree that has a natural
Nice.
bend in it, and it makes a perfect hanging spot. And it's right on the side of my archery range. And so when I'm teaching archery, people are always sitting there watching their friends do archery or their family
Hmm.
do archery. And he was talking about how like, what trees need to stay. And I'm like, well, that tree has to stay. You can't cut that tree down. My swing's in that. And his girlfriend was there, and she's a Costa Rican. And I asked her, I'm like, what kind of tree is that anyway? It's the Dagame tree, the tree that
Okay.
I've been looking
No way.
3 years for. I had no idea. And it turns out I have like 4 or 5 of them on both sides of my archery range,
Oh,
but I had
really?
no idea.
Wow. Wow.
So I found
Okay.
the Dagame tree, but I can't use it because it's
Yeah.
like it's part of my archery range. But at least now I know what it looks like, and
Yeah.
maybe I can find some other sources for it. But I was blown away. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like I hung this swing
Okay.
beside my archery range from the
Wow.
exact tree I've been looking for. So yeah,
Wow.
my plan is to start working with local woods and see what
Hmm.
I can come up with there. I don't want to import woods for people to come and make bows in Costa Rica. If they're going to do it, I want it to be. There's not much history that I can find for archery in Costa Rica, at least modern Costa Rica. It
Hmm.
probably goes back, further back into. I, I'm gonna show my ignorance here. I don't know if there's the Aztecs or the Mayans or whoever lived in that area. I'm sure there was some archery in that history, but there's nothing really in the semi-modern Costa Rican history. Very little on traditional
Okay.
archery. So
And have you heard maybe about coppicing?
yes,
Coppice? Yeah. I don't know
yeah,
how big those trees on your property are, but I think that's something that the natives did. With the Osage.
yeah,
They would, if you have a like an Osage tree that is, um, oh, it's I can pronounce it or explain it very well in Dutch, but not in English, but whatever. So
okay,
if you have a single tree
yeah,
that might produce two or three trees, like a
okay,
like a clump,
yeah,
then they would take one, leave the other,
yeah,
and for future generations to use. And that's a method they would use
right.
to ensure that they will have bowwood while
Mm-hmm.
still having that tree. So
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
know
think
if it
these
would work,
grow that way.
but
The
no.
ones that I have don't grow that way. It's just one
Okay.
central trunk. But
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, funny story. Yeah.
When did you
Cool.
start selling bows, and was that an actual plan of yours as you got into bow making? Did you think you would eventually be able to sell them?
No, I mean, that is something that came along with my journey. I mean,
Yeah.
I started making it all for myself, and then people, well, would inquire, if I want to buy this bow or could I order one from you. Then I thought, okay, well, that's cool, that's nice. I will
Mm-hmm.
make them for you, and you start small and within your own network. And then I thought, as a teenager, I was making bows and selling them. I
Oh
thought,
wow,
well,
that
this
yeah,
is this
long
is
ago.
uh, this is way better than doing the dishes in some restaurant,
That's amazing.
working some restaurant job. So I did some of those bows in those years, and the prices I got from them is uh, really low. But at the
Yeah.
time, I thought, oh man, this is a lot of money because I was 17 or 18, whatever. So I thought, oh man, this is business. But then I figured, I want to do this well, and I want to do this firstly mainly for myself. So then I started experimenting, going to workshop with Jaap and learning from him, and doing history studies as well, and
Yeah.
uh, also giving classes. So slowly I thought, if I want to make bows for a living and sell them, I want to produce what in my view is the best I can make. And that's what I still aiming for at the moment. I'm still making bows and thinking, okay, this is good, this is cool, this is nice, this shoot good, but okay, next one, we're gonna up the game a little bit and
Yeah.
change the core or change this or that. And um, so in a way, it's a lot. It's not like full production, like every bow's exactly the same. They're all a little bit unique in their own way, and that's mainly because of the materials. It's natural, but also
Yeah.
because a bow I made 2 years ago might look just a tiny little bit different than I'm making
Mm-hmm.
today, because you're improving or changing your methods. And so yeah, I've been making bows professionally, I think now for about 3 or 4 years, where I'm selling worldwide and yeah, shipping them out. Yeah.
Do you remember what the first bow was that you sold?
Oh, it was probably an English longbow with the IP belly and bamboo in the core and bamboo at the back.
Okay.
And I sold that for, I don't know, 300 euros or something, or
Uh-huh.
250. But at the time I thought, well, this is nice. But, then I soon discovered, it's not that easy to sell in the Dutch market. I don't know if you know anything about our history, but Dutchies are traders,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they all want the best price, as many of us do. So I thought, the Dutch market is, first of all, quite small, and second of
Yeah.
all, I thought, this is not the kind of place I want to focus on. I want to, well, have a wide open gaze and focus on all the archers out there. And there are always people who are, as I say, uh, interested in your work. I mean, that's why I'm saying, just do it. Go out and make your own stuff if you want to. And there's always somebody interested in it if you want to sell it. If you
Mm-hmm.
really want to go for it, um, yeah, then you'll find that somebody, or the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's kind of how it started, and that was, yeah, well, almost 20 years ago. And
That first bow sale?
I think, yeah, I was 16 or
Wow.
17 maybe.
That's amazing.
So that's a little bit like 18 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you
yeah.
teach others to carve?
Sometimes, yeah. At the
Yeah.
moment, I have a small shop and there's not a lot of workspace. So sometimes I have somebody helping me, like my neighbor a couple of days ago. He was really interested and said, "Well, okay, can I get in your workshop
Yeah.
and help you out?" And I did some workshops in the past, but next year I might expand a little bit and do some Yumi making workshops. I mean, you're
Mm-hmm.
coming by and we're gonna experiment and do some
We're
Yumi
gonna do a
making.
Yumi. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool.
I'm really excited.
Um, yeah, I don't give a lot of workshops at the moment, so we'll see maybe in the future. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I got to figure out how to get that Yumi bow back to Canada.
yeah, yeah.
As with
I
all the bows I'm carving.
cut it in half.
No.
Just
But you ship them everywhere, right? So you've got experience shipping
yeah,
them?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We can
Yeah.
work something out. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everywhere. It's like I've thought about carrying them from one Bowyer to the next, but they're just like so awkward. I'm going to be on trains and visiting other cities, and like I don't want these all these
yeah. But
valuable
and
bows
and
traveling around with
you're
me.
starting the journey with me in Europe.
The European journey is starting with you,
Yeah.
yeah,
Then yeah,
beginning of
you would have
September.
the the most inconvenient size bow with you all the trip. So
No, definitely gonna have to
that's
ship
not.
that one.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, no
all
problem.
of them. There's not a convenient size when it comes to traveling with a bow. It's like,
Yeah,
they're all pretty awkward for modern
yeah,
day travel. So,
yeah.
but
They
yeah,
really
I'm
are.
really excited about it. I know like what we have just discussed in the last hour basically is the extent of what I know about Yumi bows. So I'm really looking forward to being able to be in your workshop and to learn from you and create something beautiful.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah, it would be great to having you guys here. And we'll talk more about those digame trees. I'm really interested in those as well.
Yeah.
And well, it's to me, it's cool to hear, as you say, is that there are many people maybe not connected, or some are connected, who experience the same thing.
Mm.
And that's so funny to hear. You're talking about the release in archery, about the sort of like
Yeah.
spontaneous surprise, and that's something I'm thinking about. Or the woodworking frustration we all experience sometimes with the bows. It's not only nice to hear, but also uh, quite interesting that they're all, yeah, well, we're all living our own little life in our own little bubble, but that we're all experiencing the same struggles, the same things in life, even as a
Hmm.
bowmaker, a woodworker, or whatever, as an
Hmm.
archer. Yeah. So
Yeah. Same struggles and also I think the same victories, the same, we're
mm,
in our own unique way. We're all gaining something invaluable from the experiences of, in this case, being woodworkers, being bowyers, and being able to create these amazing tools.
hmm yeah, yeah. We'll talk more about that when you guys get here. I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so excited. Like I said, especially for me to be able to bring my daughter to Europe for the first time and
Yeah. How
to
old is
start
she?
in your city. She's 15.
Okay.
So
And
this is
she
sorry.
okay. Yeah. No, I was just gonna wonder, as a teacher, how does that work with school?
Yeah, so she does it at school. She's or she does her own thing. I like to refer to her as a high school dropout, which I absolutely love. I spent prior to this version of my life, I owned a college of holistic medicine in Canada, and so
Hmm
I spent like 18 years in higher education. And one might think I would be a proponent of it, but I'm absolutely not. And I'm a proponent of following passion, as you and I have been talking about. Do what you love to do,
Yeah.
and things will come from that. And so about a year and a half ago, she decided that she was not. She was in an amazing kind of Montessori based school in Costa Rica, and my son is still there. Love the school, love the community behind it. Um, but she was kind of outgrew what she needed from that, and she's very self-driven and motivated. And so we talked about like, her just pursuing her passions. And one of the
hmm
amazing things about the community where I live is people from all over the world have moved there at least for part of the year, and many of these people are the best at whatever they did. There's incredible community. And so one of the things she wanted to do was drama and aerial arts. And so we found some amazing teachers for her. And now she's part of a group in that community that creates beautiful performances. We're actually going to go to Austria to stay with one of her teachers after we visit with you.
Okay.
And another thing she wanted to do was photography. And we basically found her an incredible photography teacher. And that's where that was part of the genesis of this book. I knew I wanted to travel around and study under different bowyers, and I eventually knew I wanted to write a book about it. But once she got into photography and was no longer bound by the school schedule, I was
hmm
like, well, hang on here. We could create a beautiful
Yeah.
visual book. Because I started to also realize, like, if I'm making a book based on bowyers, we need photos.
Yeah.
And so then it just kind of started to take shape from there. And she's been, for the last almost year, she's been working very hard with her teacher to basically gain the skills she needs to be able to do the
Great.
photos for this book.
Yeah.
So it's been
That's
incredible. And
that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, I'm thrilled with the way she's doing her education. She reads so many books. She reads like literally a book every day or two. So she's getting lots of
hmm
experience from that, but she has
Yeah.
very clear things that she's passionate about. And that's what we want to help her
Yeah.
explore those things. One of them's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. She trains 8 or 9 times a week. She's crazy about it. So,
Okay.
and if she was in school, she wouldn't be able to do that. And
Yeah,
so
I
it's
think,
just something.
there's lot of things to say to sometimes, school is not always the best system for
Yeah.
everybody. And well, as a teacher
You're still
myself, I
teaching, so
also,
you
uh, well, uh, hope I'm
you don't
not
have to
gonna get
incriminate
fired.
yourself yet.
But I mean, there's a lot of things to say about the school system that doesn't work for
Yeah.
a whole bunch of students, but also in general. I think we have to wonder, what is the purpose of the system? And
Hmm.
I mean, teaching is good, but what do you teach and why? And
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I think
the
as a
sit still
system,
and listen and just, I mean,
yeah. As a
hmm,
system, I think traditional style we're used to in the West is definitely dysfunctional. I think there's a lot of other ways to go about it, and
yeah, exactly, yeah,
traveling the world and creating beautiful experiences and meeting people and creating this book for me and my daughter. This is one of those ways. And for like, this is my schooling too. Like this is me going back to school to learn from the best bow carving teachers in the world, which is incredible. Like I
hmm,
get that opportunity to be a student again and to study under 15 amazing mentors.
yeah,
So for me,
yeah,
this is my schooling. So
yeah,
it never stops. I think kind of we got stuck in that rut that you need to do your schooling until you're 18, and then you need to go on to your postgraduate studies until you're in
exactly.
your mid 20s, and
It's
then you
check the
enter,
boxes. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
and then you
Yeah,
enter into the workforce and start a career and become miserable.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't really prescribe to that. So it's
cool.
like you said, do what you love to do, and there'll be there'll be a market for it. And if it's not a market financially, there's a market from the sense of fulfillment and purpose.
Exactly. You found something, a purpose in life, or yeah, fulfillment. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great to be
So
part of your schooling and adventure. And
thank you. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, man, I would love to be on that journey as well. But I'm part of it now, so
You are part of it. Yeah.
that's also very cool. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Cool.
thank you so much. And I can't believe it's like a month away. We're going to be there with you. So
Yeah,
it's
I'll prepare
great.
some stuff for you guys over here, and so we can get straight to work. And
Yeah.
yeah, and well, I will exchange numbers over email, and so we can talk a little bit easier
Hmm.
about this and that or whatever,
Yeah.
about how to get here. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Same, Stefan. And thank you for doing this. What an educational experience for me and the listeners. It's been incredible. Thank you very much for sharing
Yeah,
your knowledge and expertise.
yeah. Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity as well. And I, maybe I raise some eyebrows, or maybe you think people are having some questions or thinking, huh? Did he really say that? And I'm really curious about that. So I don't know if people are can leave comments on the.
Yeah, they can
Oh,
leave
right,
comments.
they can leave
Yeah.
comments. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
really interested in that, and
Okay.
we'll see what this brings. Yeah.
Yeah. And where can people find you on the internet?
Oh yeah. So you can mainly find me on Facebook, Bamboo Bows, or on Instagram. That's I think that's bamboo.bows.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
well, uh, there you can find me mostly. And if you want to look for orders or something, I'm currently rebuilding my website, but you can find me on Etsy at the
Okay.
moment, and that works for me at the moment. But that's gonna change soon with the web shop or something. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll
Same.
see you soon.
Yeah,
All right.
great talking to you,
You too.
and give my regards, and looking forward to meeting you in person over here.
Yeah. Likewise.
Thanks for listening to Project Quiver on Salish Wolf. Follow our journey on Instagram at Project Quiver as we seek out the world's most extraordinary traditional bowyers, and join our newsletter at projectquiver.com. Our coffee table book, Quiver, The Art of Life Through Bowcraft, arrives in 2026. We are honored to share with you the beauty, history, and magic of traditional archery.